I remember when we got to talk about your team, and even coming up with kind of like the tagline of your business. You went on like a retreat.
We
Is
did.
that right? Tell us
Yes.
about that, because I think it's a really unique thing. I've heard of that. Like maybe going with a team to maybe do some like vision casting, brainstorming, getting the foundation right when you're starting something new. Tell us about that. I think that's a
Mhm.
really cool thing.
So when I announced that I was, well, I hadn't announced it to everybody. I just announced it to Marissa because she was coming with me. She was working with me. So let me go back a little bit. Marissa worked with a builder for 6 years and did marketing and things like that. So she brought a lot to the table. She also did a lot of their staging of their homes and stuff like that. So she had a lot to bring to the table on that.
Yeah.
That kind of answers one of your questions previously. But with that, we were like, we need to. I let her know that I was going out on my own, and she was coming with me. And so we decided to book a weekend, and we went to a condo and just stayed overnight and brainstormed. And we went through names for the group and um, what our goals were. We also talked about, just different things that were important to us and what we wanted to address and things like that. So, I think I'm getting sidetracked from the question that you had,
No,
though.
that's spot on.
The tagline.
Yeah.
So we put a lot of stuff together. Ultimately, Marissa, I have to give her credit for that one. She came up with the whole tagline, but we together putting our ideas together, it sprung from that. And so we list with purpose to make your dream purchase.
Right on.
So there is always a purpose in it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think having purpose behind what you do, that aligns so well with this podcast, because it's the heart of real estate, right? The heart of what you do,
Mhm.
the reason, the purpose of why you do business.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's really great, and it really kind of shows. It kind of gives a little snapshot of what people are going to get when they work with you and your team. They can see that these people care about like this
And the
investment.
purpose of our every deal that we do is to make sure that we take care of the client first. So, obviously with real estate, it is a sales team kind of thing. However, it's all about the real estate as far as it's all about the client, and then just real estate's a part of it. So, we've been able to help families and seeing them be able to move to, get transitioned, some in great situations and then some in not so great, but you get to help them through that. And that's what it's all about. And making sure you're doing the right thing and negotiating on their behalf, not your commissions and things like that. It's what's best for them.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
If you're, I remember Marissa saying that before you guys meet with the client, that there's something you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be open to just sharing just that
Absolutely.
idea? Yeah.
So before our listing appointments, we sometimes we're coming separate. We meet at the house and or we're together, but we usually join up in one of the cars and pray before we go in, and we just say, give it to God because it's God's listing, and if it's His will that we get the listing, then we will, and if not, then that's okay too.
Right on.
So we want to make sure that everything that we do is for Him and that it has a purpose.
Right on.
And obviously we want to help every family that we can, but we also realize that there will be some out there that's just not for us to help.
Yeah.
You help the people that are entrusted to you. I think that's a big piece.
That's it. Right. Yeah. It's the ability to let go of those that there's not an expectation of, oh, I have to have this. I think we even go back to the idea of it's the give, like in the midst of like, how do I give into the relationship? And sometimes that just is like, well, this just isn't the relationship. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
It's tough sometimes. I have to
is
say, I
tough.
mean, your personal, your flesh gets in there and you're like,
I didn't win the sale.
I really want that one.
Yeah.
But it's okay in the end. It's okay, and something better will be sent along if that doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So,
and that's so true, right?
It is true.
When you so just like we always run up against obstacles, right? So things show up in and I'm sure you probably have had your share of obstacles, and especially in this last year. Is there time, like, how do you deal with obstacles, or is there maybe a story or something that is really poignant to do that just points to, man, when I'm running up against something, I know that we can deal with it this way and everything's going to be okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course. So one specific obstacle that hit me this year was at the very beginning of, I mean, it's like day one of the Charlotte Cole group.
Yeah.
I had a lead and had been talking to them and was rolling them over into my group with the permission of the last team that I had. And I lost the client,
Yeah.
and that was on day one. Um, it was all with miscommunication. I'd been in communication with one of the spouses
Mhm.
and not the other. And so one spouse was telling me one thing, but the other spouse was doing something else, not on the same page. So communication is key. Taking out of that, learn lessons, but also just to make sure, for one, communicate with both parties and things. But there again, it set me up, and I was like, it's okay. Let's not let this stop us. We're going to keep moving. I ended up closing another family member of theirs, and they were very
Wow.
excited. And, you know,
Okay.
yeah, it's okay. Just to keep pushing forward and not to let, if you do come up to an obstacle, you just keep pushing forward and you don't let it drag you down.
Right.
You have to learn how to fail forward.